When I left this place in June 1974, I was a happy guy. I was headed for a decent college. I knew what I wanted to do for a living, and I would gladly bore anyone who asked me for years after that, where did you go to high school? Because it wasn't just a simple answer, John Dewey High School. It was John Dewey High School with all these qualifications and explanations and descriptions. Or somebody might back into it and say, well, did you go to your prom? And I say, well, I went to a school that didn't have a prom. And then hanging from that was a long string of explanations about this place in Coney Island. I thought it was pretty special. Not only because of the things, I'm of an age where I can't see you and see the text at the same time, so I have to take my glasses off. Not only because of the things it did on purpose, but because of the things it did by accident. And I know we heard earlier about the design of the place and the things people had in mind when they were putting it together. But when you assemble all these elements, and I think the fifth element is a good way of referring to it, unintended consequences happen. I don't want to overplay this place and what it did for me. I was blessed. I was given a gift of incalculable value by the design of this place, by the faculty, by bumping into and rubbing against and talking and singing and playing ball and yelling at and with many of you. I grew up in a neighborhood where academic achievement was both extolled and highly suspect. Is that fair to say, my home gals over here in the second row? I traveled here on the B train from a place where very risk-averse immigrants and children of immigrants would advise, don't call attention to yourself, don't stick out, play it safe, keep your nose clean, don't pick a risky career, don't make waves. But coming down the stairs every day, the platform on Bay 50th Street, meant crossing the threshold into intellectual freedom. The chance to take 4 years of shop, not for any particular reason more substantial than I really liked shop. To get into spirited, rigorous, smart debate with teachers who knew me, even though I never had them as an instructor. And because of the design of this place, I was able to meet people I never would have met any other way and see the world through their eyes at a very contentious time in the life of this country. So for me, this place was a happy accident, an interesting mix of fresh out of college and student teaching newbies and veterans with long experience at other schools who came to work here. They were joined by a self-selected group of 9th and 10th graders who, for a long list of reasons, didn't want to go to their neighborhood school or didn't want to go to one of the specialty schools, whose own anxious parents overcame worries about getting into college with a transcript with no letter or number grades, no class rank, no GPA, the obsessions of many of you who have in college or college-bound children today. Dewey was a well-planned accident, a terrific combination of a set of educational ideas, a faculty ready to keep a loose hand on the reins, combined with a core group of kids who were ready to embrace those ideas and grow in ways that wouldn't have been possible in other schools. I say core group of kids because we also have to be honest about the fact that not everyone flourished. Some people left, some faltered, some did badly, some took 5 years to finish, some took 5 years and then didn't even finish and got a GED because there was no one looking over their shoulder every minute of the day. And a lot of the shaggy crowd you could find on the lawn on any given day was actually supposed to be in class. Self-direction. And sticking with self-direction, even if it meant that some kids actually burst into flame right in their sneakers, left a pair of sneakers in a smoking locker area. Sticking with that idea of self-direction and not hassling us every minute of the day was actually very significant, and a lot of you who are parents wouldn't even go for that today if it was proposed for your own children. There was here room for error. And I think we underestimate just how important room for error can be. There was an offer of a second chance. There were people who wandered for a while, then snapped out of it, and through their own efforts, salvaged their high school careers. In the 36 years since that day, that wonderful messiness has very much gone out of style. And the student creativity that found its expression not only here within these walls, but in opportunities throughout the city is not that easy to find. There's been relentless pushback against all of it. There is little or no appetite for student achievement that cannot be measured, quantified, categorized, compared, and crunched. And if you think that what you accomplished here, if you think that what you learned here were things that are actually hard to measure, hard to compare to another kid, hard to number crunch, then you understand very much what has gone out of style, not just here within these walls, but in education, certainly secondary education, all over the country. So in some ways, Dewey is as much a product of its time as Fry boots, Huckapoo shirts, and Nixon's The One buttons. And I have my doubts about whether that kind of lightning can be caught in a bottle again. There appears to be some anger, some dismay even, that the place has not remained what it was 35 years ago. But New York has changed, Brooklyn has changed, who uses public schools has changed. There is no Vietnam War and deferments shaping the ranks of teachers. There are more opportunities than there were for educated women who have transformed the greater American workforce. So what can we who cherish this past and care about the future realistically do here? And I think the best thing we can do is make sure the people making decisions about this place know that we're here. That's actually a very important thing, that they understand that there is a constituency for the school beyond those who simply go there today. It's a very politically potent thing. The future graduates of this place should know that there's a network of people out there doing a breathtaking array of jobs. We can fund a scholarship, and there are enough alums of a 40-year-old school that just a few bucks a piece, literally $3 a piece a year, would actually become a fairly substantial pot of money. We can be called on to give career advice. We can be the memory bank of this place. So don't make the goal the unachievable idea of finding a time capsule that you can pop this place out of and making it be 1975 again. I just don't think that's going to happen, and I think you can burn up a lot of energy trying to make that happen. Class mobility is now the toughest trick to pull off in the United States. It is so much harder in 2010 to move out of the circumstances that you were born into than it was in 1965, than it was in 1975, and than it was even in 1985 and 95. The lines are hardening, and if we can be part of a network that helps kids find a way, the kids who find their way to the front door here as 9th and 10th graders, help them find a way out of their circumstances, we'll be doing a lot of good, and we'll be doing an achievable goal rather than one that's sort of a chimera, something that can only be seen in the distance and never reached. A grand slam home run or nothing is romantic and ambitious and fun to think about, but change in institutions rarely happens that way. What this place needs is steady singles, hit after hit after hit after hit, to change lives and be the transformative place that is part of the reason why you're even here today. So thank you very much for inviting me to speak, and good luck to all of you, and God bless this school.